Let's do this. Nod if you've ever been told you're too emotional, too loud, too soft, too much, or not enough. Now keep nodding if you've ever felt the sting of shame, not because you did something wrong, but because you dared to be yourself. Welcome to womanhood. For generations, women have been shamed for their bodies, their voices, their choices, and their emotions. We've been taught to shrink, to apologize, to edit ourselves for comfort. But today, we are flipping the script. This isn't a space for silence, it's a space for truth, for healing. So take a deep breath. You're not too much, you're not too little, you're exactly enough.
Have you ever felt pressured by peers or by elders to have kids?
Fortunately, no, it never happened in my life. But it's my internal desire to definitely nurture, and I'm someone who favors adoption. So I would be definitely, I do have a desire to nurture the little ones, but never been pressured by anyone.
I mean, that's great. However, I feel like a lot of women have had the experience of, you finish school, you're like, oh, so when are the kids coming?
Exactly.
A lot, it's very common. And I wanted to ask you, what do you think are some messages that women receive by society about the right time to become mothers? And how do those differ from how men are targeted about having children?
Well, the interesting thing is with women, again, this is complete internalizing of all those messages and what the society and media and movie portrays. Much of your learning actually happens through the entertainment sites and movies and media that demonstrates, oh, well, yeah, once the school is done, you'll see even in movies, oh, when is she getting married? Or probably even in movies, it's forged like, oh, haven't you got a boyfriend in your... Like girls of your age, they're too fast. I think you really need to catch up on those things, girl. How would a right guy find you? You will be the left out lord. And all those things, what do you think is gonna do to a girl? She's gonna probably think, well, yeah, what if I'm left out? Because here's the interesting dynamic. You need to understand that our brains are wired as per the societies that used to be in the historical times. So I'm talking about the time when it was actually a dangerous scenario to be alone. FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yes.
Now it doesn't even make sense. So that time, because the situation was so dangerous, you could be attacked by a predator, you could be left alone, you couldn't have had food, you weren't with a group or a tribe, and you could have died. The chances were very high. Now, we are in a different scenario, we are in a different age, it's completely changed, but our wiring is the same. And if the wiring is the same, we're going to operate in the same way. And we feel like it's not even if someone leaves you out of a group, even when you get a harsh email or a harsh message, we feel threatened.
Yeah.
And that threatened feeling is similar to something like an experience of a death. That's the death of ego. And ego doesn't want to die. So as I was talking previously about the identity aspect and the how we are identified with our ego factor, which is highly prominent, even with this thing, when females are told, oh, you're missing out on things, is the pressure which is created, even if a woman might not want to do that. But then the interesting thing is, oh, well, you know what? My peers are also doing, everyone is getting married, so I should also get married. I should? Well, then you're really landing up into trouble because you haven't made a conscious decision. And the problem with this is if you do not make conscious decisions, you'll blame the society. Oh, you know what? Well, it was my parents who pressured me. I didn't want you to do that in the first place. Now, the fact is, well, okay, you got that pressure from the family, but you were also the one who willingly made a conscious choice. And the day when you take responsibility for your decisions without fear, you know what keeps us in relationships, what keeps us going in life is we all are driven by fear than desire. Fear of missing out could be turned into a desire to belong. But that's not the thing. It's not my desire to belong. I'm going to operate by fear of missing out. And that's why making decisions in haste, rushing unnecessarily. And the interesting thing about the bio clock. Wow, that's an interesting thing. Oh, when are you getting... you need to get the kids, otherwise, it's going to create complications for you, for the child. Even if the mother is not interested, the potential mother or the woman is not even interested in doing that.
For sure. I mean, and it's so different for men, right?
Yeah.
You'll often see men graduate from, let's say, finishing their bachelor's, They'll be like, oh, it's okay, you're still young, you have time, go
Exactly.
enjoy the world. Whereas women, specifically in, you know, diverse cultures, you'll see immediately your elders starting to ask you, oh, have you found someone yet? Are you planning on settling down soon? Despite the man and the woman being the same age, they're being told two completely different things.
Exactly. They're told go out, explore as much as possible. And the another thing that men usually have this narrative, not for everyone, but some might have this. Women are replaceable.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I can get one, I can get two, whatever. But with women, oh, my worth, my identity is tied to this person.
Yeah.
So if this person leaves, my whole world will shatter. Now I'm going to beg you, and I'm going to beg you, please don't leave me. Please love me.
100%. I fully agree. I also, it's really, you know, when you force someone to have a child and they don't want to, what do you think is going to happen? You know, at some point, you know, probably internally in some way, the mother will probably resent the child in some way.
Exactly.
You know?
It's going to happen. And psychology has shown there are a couple of defense mechanisms that operate. It could also be being overprotective towards the child, when in reality the intention, because it happens all unconsciously.
Yeah.
And that is the dynamic which operates here. So the mother might turn out to be overprotective towards the child, even though internally she resents the child. And that's how the human complexity and the behaviors operate. And probably she might even tell the child, well, it's because of you I gave up on my job. It's because of you I had to give up on my desires. And now if you're not performing well, and I'm hearing because of your dad, the entire fault is you. When in reality, well, sorry to say, that woman was also a culprit in this entire scenario. And she's not going to take the responsibility for that.
No, I mean, it's a whole cycle.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
Like, there is no one person to blame. I also wanted to ask you a bit about how, let's move past a bit over the, you know, initiation to parenthood and move on towards parenthood itself, especially motherhood.
Yeah.
What do you think, how do you think societal pressure on women, obviously, to be the perfect mother contributes to competition and judgment between women themselves over parenting choices, right? You'll see a lot of argument about breastfeeding versus formula, which brand of diaper you're using. Are you a stay-at-home mom? Are you a working mom? There's so much judgment involving all decisions. What are your thoughts on this?
I love this question because this concept not only of a perfect mother, but perfect girl.
Yeah.
Perfect in every sense, perfect in terms of your figure, perfect in terms of the job you have, perfect in terms of the degree, perfect in terms of being educated, perfect in terms of your motherhood. You have to be a perfect being. If you have flaws, well, then get lost.
Yeah.
And that's the narrative that women are sold very early on in their lives. And with that perfect ideology, women are the first ones to cry if their grades go down because they were expecting perfectionism. Boys don't.
No. Or very rarely.
Very rarely you're going to see that. Very rarely. But it's a high percentage of girls.
Yeah.
If a girl probably loses in a competition, if she was competing a dance competition, she's going to resent the other woman who won and probably feel envy.
Yeah.
And again, she's going to cry. On a very small thing, like it wasn't anything. It was a good learning experience. And that's the reason the concept of being perfect, it moves on to motherhood. So this cycle begins early on. It doesn't happen like once you become a mother and then suddenly you have this kind of, concept about perfectionism. No, it operates deep down. Perfectionism in terms of, well, if I'm operating in an academic industry or in any other industry, I want to produce the best research papers. I want to be the topmost researcher. Perfect. And that the desire for being picture perfect is to gain approval from others, gain validation. Everyone is going to be like, oh wow, she's so good. And then I'm going to feel worthy. And if the day when you might lose your reputation, that is when, again, identity crisis creeps in. So when it comes to perfect mother, I have seen this a lot in terms of the competition. And the worst thing with mothers also goes on to their children. They start comparing the children. Your kid is performing well, mine is not. Bhai, what do you do? What is some magic that you give to your child that your child is performing so well? And the enemy starts even between, like, just comparing the children. For what reason? Not only themselves, like, oh well, yeah, as you mentioned 100% in terms of, like, are you a working mother or are you staying at home? Well, if you're working mother, you should better be careful because, it's easy for children to slip away and lose their sense of focus. And it's a woman who's going to fuel it in. It's not a guy who's going to come and tell you, well, you know what? You should better leave your workplace and go back and stay home.
No, I mean, 100%. I think mothers don't realize that this competition, even if it's, unconscious sometimes, this competition that they have between each other affects their kids, right? They're seeing this, the comparison is so harmful.
Yeah.
Especially, and your child notices it.
Exactly.
You know, you name drop another child multiple times, and they'll be like, well, why can't I just be me? Why
Exactly.
them? Why do you keep comparing me to them? And you know, I used to get compared to my sister very often. And they would, oh my God, the amount of arguments we've had over this. I'm like, I'm not my sister. I don't like the same things as her. We like
Exactly.
different things, and you have to accept that. We're not going to be the same way. You didn't have two of the same kids. You have two separate kids. You have two separate kids with completely different personalities. And being compared either to your own sibling or to another child is harmful. Because then you feel like you're not enough.
Exactly. And that's
And
where
then your
this...
child will resent the other child, even if they don't want to, and that's because of you.
Very true. And this is where self-hate creeps in. Now here, you could actually raise your opinion and probably raise your viewpoint. What about those who cannot? What about the families where it's not even allowed? They just keep it inside, bottled up. And one day it's going to come out, for sure. That happens. And I really love the concept that you mentioned. Please let me be me. Because the fact is, no family, regardless of the place you live in, no family is ever going to have two similar kids. Even if it's twins. Even if it's monozygotic twins, it's never going to happen. Because you need to understand those are two different souls on a different journey. Now here comes the concept of the soul thing. Two souls absolutely on a different journey have came into your family to lead their own lives. Instead of supporting them, we try to impose our traits onto them. You should be this way. You should be like your sister. You should be like your brother. And if you're not, then, oh, I don't know how come you're a part of this family.
Yeah.
These are the lines are used for kids. These are literally used, and when they're literally young, what do you think is going to happen to that child?
I mean, yeah, exactly. Very often you'll hear mothers be like, oh, my first kid was so easy, which is why I decided to have another one. But then the other one was such a handful. And it sounds harmless when you say it like this, but repeated enough times, it will stick in your child's head.
It
be
will.
like, oh,
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Like, I was a handful. Were you expecting me to be a copy of my sibling? It's harmless things aren't always as harmless as they seem.
Exactly. Harm starts, poison. You have a drop of it, or you have a tablespoon. The impact is the same.
Yeah. It just takes.
Yeah, exactly. Slow death.
Yeah.
It leads to a slow death, definitely. The child is going to receive a message, well, I'm not lovable. And that's how it operates in their own romantic relationships. They're going to show up in the same way. Because that's how the brain attracts familiarity, right? If you're operating in that frequency. And that is why, time and again, I advocate this of working on yourself. Because you cannot, as kids, we are helpless, right? We are dependent on our caregivers. But after a certain point in time, if we do not make an effort to heal our own wounds, it's going to stay lifelong. And it's disastrous.
Yeah. And you're just feeding it towards your children
Exactly.
as well. I also wanted to talk about this phenomena of mom shaming. So mom shaming, what I mean by that is, when after giving birth, after a couple months, after having the baby, moms will start to be like, I've gained my body back to how it used to be. It's, I lost my pregnancy weight. I'm back to feeling well again. I'm taking care of my body. I'm presenting myself well now. Why aren't you there yet? And then it's also going to be nitpicky about the kids, right? Like, why isn't your child sleeping through the night? That's why you're so tired. You're probably doing something wrong. And it's never said to your face like this. It's always very passive, aggressive, as per usual. But the meaning is there, Everyone, you don't need to think too hard to understand what the person is trying to say. So in what ways do you think mom shaming reflects internalized patriarchal standards rather than actual genuine support for your child?
That's a very deep question, I would say, because I completely agree. Sometimes, what we mask as concern, care for the other person, is actually coming out of passive aggression. Women specifically, they won't express their aggression actively, right? It's always masked in comments, sarcasm, or probably non-verbal cues. And when it comes to mom shaming, again, as you said, the fact that, getting back into shape after pregnancy, or, you've completely changed, what has happened to your body? You won't receive those messages from men or from anybody else, but it's the women. It could be your own mother. It could be Female members in your family, could be females in your community, could be females at your workplace. And that's why, because sometimes, some women, if they are really working hard to raise their child or something like that, they might even be told at workplace, well, you know what, you don't look good. I think you should take some time off.
Yeah.
Instead of really making an effort, hey, can we talk? Can we discuss? Can we try and do our best to support you? Does that exist? I was personally told, I won't relate this to mom shaming, but sometimes if I wasn't doing well in my personal life or something and I would show up at my place, I would be told, well, you know what? I think you shouldn't come because you are influencing everyone else with your negativity, so you should stay home. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I've heard that a couple of times, and I used to really wonder, what is this person even saying? Instead of offering support, the person is saying, you know what, you better stay home. Only come when you feel well.
It's like we can't show.
And it was a woman telling me this.
That's crazy. It's what's really crazy about this question is that it makes you think about how somehow it's become so common that for women to always, look good for their husband, look good for their partner.
Yep.
That women themselves are doing the dirty work for men. Men don't even need to say anything anymore.
Yeah.
It's being done
automatically. It's just automated.
It's either your mom, co-workers, friends. It's gonna be like, oh, like you don't want to look like that. You're like, well, what's your, like your husband's not gonna be attracted to you anymore. Your partner's not gonna be attracted to you anymore. And if you think about it, it's not. We're quick to blame men, which sometimes yes. In this case, who's really pushing?
Sorry, I won't say every time, it's when it comes to feminism, people are like, oh, it's men who have the issues. Men are the ones who are creating things complicated. Well, sorry to say, it's women too.
Yeah. I mean, how many times can we, can we justify toxic behavior under the guise of feminism?
Yeah.
Is it not toxic to tell someone to lose their pregnancy weight?
Exactly. I mean, it's okay. That's who you are, and it's up to your time. And if you want to lose weight or not, that's your choice in the first place. We are no one to step in and be like, oh, you know what? You don't look good. Your husband won't be attracted to you anymore. Who are we to even creep into someone's intimate life and make such comments?
Exactly. And no two pregnancies are the same. Even if you got pregnant the same day, delivered on the same day, you didn't have the same pregnancy.
Yeah.
Each and every single pregnancy is different.
Exactly.
You're not going to lose weight. You're not going to gain weight the same way someone did. You're not going to go being back to normal in the same. You're never going to be normal again. Your body changed. You gave birth to a child. You're not going to go back to the way you used to be. And if you don't know that before you went through pregnancy, then were you really ready for this?
Exactly. That's the thing, because the society pressured you in that way. Exactly. And you just committed to something that you weren't even aware of in the first place. And that's where things go worse up. And when we say coming back to normal, I don't understand why there is a normal thing. What is normal and abnormal here?
I don't even know how to answer that question, because there is no normal, not normal.
Exactly.
Everything is normal.
Everything is normal, right? Why do we create a demarcation between, oh, well, that's abnormal, this is normal, and if you're abnormal, well, then you should try and come back to normal. Why do we do that?
There is no more back to normal, right? After pregnancy, that is your normal now.
Yeah.
This is your normal.
Adjust a new normal.
You want to go back to normal? Then take away the baby. What about the baby that came out? Back to normal, then, there's so many implications. There's no back to normal.
Exactly. And this also reminds me of COVID. Now we've adjusted to a new normal, right? Hybrid wasn't a way of working, right?
No.
It never happened before that. We have adjusted. Did we ever say to COVID, well, now, okay, everyone go back to normal? No. It won't happen. We have to adjust, change to the new way. And everyone did so effectively. Because we don't have anyone to tell us negative things about it. The problem comes in when there is a lot of negativity around that.
For sure. I love that comparison. I think that was so fitting. I wanted to ask you one last question, tying in feminism with motherhood. How do you think modern feminism reconciles with the right to choose motherhood versus the pressure to do it all? So some people are quick to, right now modern feminism would be like, oh, a girl who's working, she makes her own money, very independent. But then some women want to have kids, some women want to be stay-at-home moms.
Yeah.
How do you reconcile both of these? Because some people might think women who are choosing to have kids and stay-at-home moms are not feminists. Do you think that's true?
Well, for me, completely first thing, it might shock everyone who's hearing us, but for me, feminism has nothing to do with those things. For me personally, feminism is more so how can we as women be supportive of one another, regardless of the choices we make, regardless of the backgrounds that we come from, regardless of our abilities and our sexual orientations and a diverse set of people in our lives. Because the problem is we love compartmentalizing people into communities. Oh yeah, this is that community, this is this community, this is the working community, this is the stay-home community. What are we trying to do? The more we talk about feminism, I think there is a more of segregation which is happening rather than bringing people together. So firstly, in my opinion, clearly, I don't give a damn about if someone is working or if someone is a stay-home mother. It's your choice, and it is our duty to respect someone's choice, and instead of looking down upon someone, because believe me or not, superiority and inferiority both comes from a lack of self-worth. Because if you're worthy in yourself, you don't feel the need to put someone down, and at the same time you won't feel the need to feel inferior from someone. And that is the only issue. The problem is with the self-worth thing, the inner work that women are not willing to work on, or probably even as humans, because it's a tough work, it's a hard journey, it's a dark journey. But once you cross that darkness, there is light waiting for you.
Yeah, I think a harsh reality is that, feminism has become this huge movement, which amazing, great, yes,
Yeah.
we're going in the good direction. But women, I think, are starting to forget that yes, we are equal to men, 100%. But we also need to see between women.
Exactly,
Women and
because
women. We have to make each other equal as well. As long as this competitive mindset is there, will we ever truly see each other as equals or just as a tool to compete against each other with?
as long as you're operating with the mindset of scarcity and competition, no matter what policies are in place, no matter how much equality is between men and women, this cat fight, rat race, whatever you want to call it, I'm so sorry for using those terms, but yeah, that's a very, very harsh reality, and it's going to stay for centuries if women do not really wake up and be like, that's it, it's enough. The first change that you can really make is at your home, with your daughters, with your wives, with your mothers, with your grandmothers. Get up and make that change. Start with yourself and see how things change around you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's super easy for people to be like, oh, but I'm just one person. What is that going to do?
That's the thing. Because you won't see immediate results. We as humans are driven by immediate things. Immediate results. Many people, if they have started gymming, your muscle to develop is going to take a while. Any business that you start is going to take a while to really, take up that pace.
For sure.
But the problem is, why is it only a few people are on that top 1%? Because they persisted. It's not because they got lucky or some magic happened. It's because they tumbled down 100 times and they bounced back again. That's why they're there. Many people start with a lot of motivation. Motivation is not the issue. Everyone can start. How many of you can persist with knowing this fact that you won't see the results? And it could take 3 or 4 years. It is the compounding effect that happens. So starting with one person, just imagine the ripple effect it's going to create throughout the globe.
If you want real change, you have to be willing to put in the effort, even though you won't be there to see the change.
Exactly. Even if we don't see the results, that is okay.
Yeah.
But putting in the effort, making that intentional in your life is where the entire story, the rewriting happens.